So today we're going to do a mod where we're going to probably up in here, cut a hole and mount a disconnect switch, which is this over here. So this unit, this here we're going to mount to the panel there on the compressor. This will go inside. Then we have our switch here to turn it on and off. All right, now the disconnect is all assembled. So the reason why I wanted to do this mod is the compressor plugged in, but with the compressor turned off, the e-stop pressed, and the chiller turned off, there's these two timing valves that are always running. Down here, there's one here, and then one further along on the back side over there. Every time there's power applied to the compressor, those two valves will always be timing and do an automatic drain to get rid of water and condensation from the tank. But I don't always want that to happen if I'm not going to be using the laser. I want to store my air for use later. So to stop it from venting, I have to unplug the compressor currently. But then when I go to plug the compressor back in, those timing valves will fire right away pretty much. So when I go to plug in the plug, sometimes there'll be a spark that'll happen. And to prevent wear on the terminals, you see on here, there's a little bit of burn marks where it's arcing as I plug the plug in, right? So by adding this disconnect, I can turn power off so there's no current draw. So when I plug the plug in, or I'll be able to leave it plugged in at this point, there'll be no arcing, and everything can be controlled from the disconnect switch. Now I have the compressor plugged in, and you'll see when I turn the disconnect on, without anything else being turned on over here, you'll hear the those timing valves fire and drain before anything else over here started. So turn it on. So you heard that. The screen's starting to boot up now. Like everything's stopped and turned off on here that I can. There's always power draw if it's plugged in, and the only way to stop that from happening is to unplug it or to add a disconnect like this, or have a disconnect on your wall where you're feeding your compressor from.